I think there's a special service called RDS, Narendra, using which
Okay.
we can host our databases on cloud. The advantage is that automatic backup. Okay, there is automatic backup, and there is a concept called availability zone failures. So there is a concept called read replicas. These are some additional features what the clients will get when when they choose a cloud platform for hosting the databases, which helps in improving removing the dependency on the database administrators. They need of database administrators when they go for a cloud platform. We'll discuss in detail when we learn about RDS service, Narendra. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you said just now. For backups,
Three
for
important
automatic.
features: so automatic backup, and then availability zone handling availability zone failures, and then RAID replicas. These are the three important advantages clients gets.
Actually, we are doing all these things in Oracle and SQL also. If
Yes,
you do the cron jobs, it will automatically it will take backups.
you are
If
right.
we have a high availability system, so it will automatically take your failover.
This becomes more comfortable. Even a non-technical person can also do this, Narendra.
Like
Got it?
it's completely on front end. Like
Yeah, everything will be user interface based. Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rajneesh Dwivedi. Can you hear me, Rajneesh?
Hello. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, Rajneesh. Your question, please.
No. No question.
No questions? Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Please drop your hand if you're not having any questions. If you're not having any questions, please drop your hand. Swagat Mohanty.
Yeah,
Good
hi
morning.
Sunil, good morning.
Good morning, Swagat. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So my question is, last class you have demonstrated that load balancer. I have also created the same, but
Okay.
one doubt is there. Thing is that which IP should I check so that I can check? Yeah, in the last class you have shown that my Google 1, my Google 2, that is switching. So
Yes.
which IP should I hit?
Which IP should you?
Hit so that I can check yes my load balancer is working and passing the request from one server to another server.
How do you check whether the load balancer is perfectly working or not? That's your question.
Yes.
If you want to check how load balancer is perfectly working or not, you have picked up the DNS name of the load balancer, isn't it?
Okay.
You are not accessing the direct machines. You are accessing the DNS of the you are accessing the load balancer. Now load balancer is doing the job of distributing. That's how you have to test it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You should not connect to individual machines. You will be connecting to the load balancer. Load balancer should distribute the traffic. Okay. That's what we have seen that in the last session.
Okay. So I have to check the load balancer DNS.
Yes, you need to pick up the load balancer DNS name and connect to load balancer DNS.
Okay.
So that the load balancer will distribute the traffic.
So another thing is that how to get that load balancer DNS under which
Yesterday we
option?
have seen it, right? It is available in the recording. Once the load balancer is successfully created, immediately in the load balancer in the dashboard itself, you will find the load. The moment you select a load balancer, you get the DNS name.
Yes.
Pick up the DNS name and then you can access it from your browser.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohanty. So let's get into the plan for our today's session. So today's session is completely new. We are experiencing the concept of auto scaling. We are experiencing the concept of auto scaling. Let's experience the concept of auto scaling. Look at the theory. What does that auto scaling theory says? Look at this. This auto scaling feature helps to ensure that you have correct number of EC2 machines to handle the load of your application. In continuation to the last session, we have created a load balancer. We have created one EC2 machine and second EC2 machine. Two servers we have created. Load balancer is receiving the traffic, you know that, and distributing the traffic to the two EC2 machines. So if both the EC2 machines are not able to handle the load, How many number of EC2 machines should be attached to load balancer? Do you think 2 machines are enough to attach the load balancer? Or do you think we need to have 3 machines to handle the load? Do we need to attach 3 machines to the load balancer? Do we need to attach 5 machines to the load balancer? Should we attach 10 machines to the load balancer? How to determine the right number of EC2 machines? How to determine a right number of EC2 machines? How many EC2 machines should be created to handle the load? Is 2 is enough? 3 is enough? 5 is enough? 10 is enough? How can we determine the number of EC2 machines that should be attached to load balancer? Assuming one EC2 machine can handle 3,000 users. One EC2 machine can handle 1,000 users. If there are 3 EC2 machines, total it can handle 3 out of 3,000 users concurrently. If the number of users are 10,000, if the number of users who are accessing the application is 10,000, yes, can be 10,000, right? So at any point of how many users will be accessing Zomato or Swiggy? At any given point of time, how many users will be accessing Zomato? We may never know. It can be 10,000 users, it can be 20,000 users, it can be 5,000 users. Number of users is not static, it's always dynamic. How many users will be concurrently accessing Amazon Prime or Netflix? We may never know. Number of users are all dynamic. How many users are currently working with the ICICIbank.com and connecting to their internet banking? You may never know. So number of users is not constant, it's dynamic. In such case, if assuming if one EC2 machine can handle 1,000 users, there are 3 EC2 machines, it can total handle 3,000 users. If there are 10,000 users connecting to the load balancer, obviously the complete application goes down. If there are 10,000 users accessing the application, if there are 3 EC2 machines you have created, if one EC2 machine can handle 300,000 users, total can handle 3,000 users, but the number of users are 10,000, obviously the application goes down. So here we need to also use the concept of auto scaling. The auto scaling feature helps you to always have a right number of EC2 machines. The new EC2 machines will be created automatically, and that will be attached to load balancer automatically when the traffic increases. At the same time, when the traffic increases, the EC2 machines will be removed to reduce the bill. So the auto scaling feature makes sure that you have correct number of EC2 machines available to handle the load of your application. You create a collection of instances called auto scaling group. We'll see practically what is auto scaling group. In the auto scaling group, you mention minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances. That's all. In this example, what you do, you mention only lower limit and upper limit, minimum limit as well as maximum limit. There's a minimum number of instances, I mention it as 2, maximum number of instances, you mention it as 10 or 20, up to the previous historical data. We can see that. So we also only mention the minimum limit as maximum limit. The auto scaling feature makes sure that the number of instances will be between this particular range and make sure that it handles the application load. EC2 auto scaling ensures that the group will never go above the size or never go below the size. This is concept of auto scaling. The auto scaling helps you automatically scale up the infrastructure. Scaling up is nothing but creating the new infrastructure automatically without any human intervention. At the same time, when the load decreases, it should automatically scale down. Do you know the OTT platforms will have huge traffic in the weekends? There are many users who will be connecting to Netflix and Amazon Prime in the weekends. At the same time, the weekdays, they will have very less traffic. So when the traffic increases automatically, the infrastructure should build up automatically. At the same time, when the traffic increases, the infrastructure should be removed so that the application will not go down. Almost all the clients who are having their application on cloud platforms use this concept of auto scaling. Finally, they don't want any downtime. Even though the traffic increases 10 times, but still the application will never go down. That's the benefit of auto scaling. So let's experience how can we define this auto scaling infrastructure and how does exactly what are the steps to be followed to experience the concept of auto scaling. So this is all about the auto scaling. I hope you have understood the concept. Yesterday we have seen just a load balancer. and then attaching the EC2 machines to load balancer. In today's session, now we'll be experiencing the continuation of load balancer. This is all about auto scaling. Okay, so this is about the theory of auto scaling. So let's discuss about the practicals. Yes, any questions on auto scaling? Good morning, Mas.
Good morning, Sunil.
Clear about
Hi.
the auto scaling feature?
Yes, clear. I have a question about load balancer.
Yep.
So what is load balancer? It's a physical machine, virtual machine, like
Load
it is a
balancer is
VM?
something like a small software which is integrated in the EC2 service.
Okay. It's not a NIC card like that, something like that.
No, it's not a
Okay.
card like that. Okay, it's
Okay,
it's a
thanks.
small software which handles this functionality, which is included as part of EC2 service, Mas. Okay,
EC2 service or is inside the EC2 machine or how? VM.
it's not inside the EC2 machine. It's completely different component. I have seen it in the dashboard, isn't it? We have seen on the load balancers. You will find the load balancer. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Sushil Nath.
Hi, Sunil. You said in the auto scaling group, you have to define the minimum and the maximum number of instances.
Yes.
Okay. For example, I define 2 or 20. Okay.
Okay.
If my load is going beyond the 20, what will happen in that
So that's the
scenario?
reason we always give a more buffer time. Okay, that's the reason we look at statistical history. When a client is using their application, we will look at the infrastructure. We'll get the statistics from the client. So what is the total number of maximum number of users till now? Okay, they have their statistics with them. When number of users currently accessing the application. Okay.
Like in US Thanksgiving time, you cannot predict how many customers will connect.
So there's no limitation. Instead of 20, write it as 200. There's no harm in it. Okay.
I want that one.
You mentioned 2000. That's not a problem, but you will be billed only for the infrastructure that gets created, isn't it? Not with the maximum value what you have defined it. Okay. So if the maximum value is, let's say, 1 unit, we provide 10 times from our more than maximum value. So at any point of time, we don't need to worry about the huge traffic. Okay.
No, still I'm asking the one question. Okay. My statistical history is saying it will never goes beyond the 20 machine.
So statistical history from the client says that how many number of users. No, it's all about number of users.
Yes.
Okay.
But unexpectedly, if it gone beyond, what to happen then in that case?
Beyond in the sense, can you provide it? Let's say, for example.
Okay. 10 billion. Yeah.
Let's say there will be 10 million concurrent users.
Yes.
Is the maximum till now the maximum number of concurrent users reached the application is 10 million.
Yes.
Okay. If one EC2 machine can handle 1 million users, one EC2 machine can handle
1 million.
1 million users. So to handle 10 million users, how many EC2 machines we should have?
10
EC2 machines. That's a maximum limit. What the client says, that maximum statistic value. What the client says that one specific day in their historical business period, they have reached 10 million. Okay. So we will provide a maximum limit. So as per the if as per the maximum history, it will be maximum statistics. It will be 10 EC2 machines. Am I right?
Yes.
Create 50 EC2 machines, 5 times than the historical maximum value, so that we will not have any issue at all. Okay. But anyways, we can also using a service called as CloudWatch. We can monitor the performance of the EC2 machines. In case if it is reaching 80% or 90%, we can anyways change this maximum value at any point of time. Okay.
So in that case, it will impact the configuration of the production.
No. It will not impact. Just dividing the max. We are just changing the limits. It does not impact any configuration.
Okay, got it.
Clear, Sushil?
Yeah.
So we always, whenever you're defining a maximum limit, we check from the client what is the maximum number of users they have reached till date, and then we provide maximum double to it or triple to it. Generally, it will not be reached, isn't it? Unexpectedly. Am I right, Sushil?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions, Sushil?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Interesting. Is it interesting experiencing the concept of auto scaling?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jaya Chandra.
Yeah. Hi, Sunil.
Yep.
Yeah. Myself, Jay Chandra. So I just want to introduce first initially. So I am a 2.5 years of React experience into front-end React.js.
Okay.
So I just want
Right now, React.js is doing very well, I think so, to my knowledge.
Yeah, that is the reason. So most of the things I have covered in the React.js. So I just want to upgrade to the cloud. So in our
Because most of the applications which are built on React.js, mostly they will be running on cloud platform, to my knowledge. Am I right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that is the reason I'm very much interested in
It's
learning
always
these
good
things.
to know cloud, how exactly cloud helps, so that from a developer point of view, more comfortable working with cloud.
Yeah, right. So that is the reason. So I'm going through all of the concepts, and it is pretty much interesting.
Thank you.
So here I have one question. So I have a web application which I have developed. So
Okay.
I have a good knowledge on developing this application, deploying into Firebase or Netflix, right?
Okay.
So right now I have a very small question that if I have an application, if I want to deploy on some web server, right?
Okay.
So
Yep.
do we need a good understanding on AWS with DevOps, or just AWS is enough?
DevOps is not required, just AWS is enough. You want only to know how to deploy your application on AWS cloud. That's all.
Okay. So in the previous class, you have given an understanding that you have created a small index.html file and you have deployed on the web server, right?
Yes, you are right.
To understand it more clearly, to deploy my React application into web server, the same process do I need to go, or there are any more?
Option one, you can connect to the EC2 machine and then you can deploy yourself onto that particular web server by yourself manually. Okay, like how you are deploying it into your on-premises infrastructure. Okay, that's one option one. Option two, there are some deployment services in AWS which helps you to deploy your application automatically to the target instances, Jayachandra. Okay, so that's a different service, but you can also manually do it. For a developer point of view, manually doing deploying to the EC2 machines is enough.
Okay. The final question. I have now I'm enabling a free tier service, right? So I can deploy my project using this free one.
You can do that, but this particular free tier EC2 instances comes with only 1 GB RAM, isn't it, Jayachandra? And only 8 GB of storage. To my knowledge, that configuration may not be sufficient to run your application. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to go for higher configurations. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So let's dig into the practicals of auto scaling, how exactly we have to define auto scaling in AWS. Okay. This is a 6-step process. You can see here. To experience the auto scaling, it's a 6-step process. Step one, we create a load balancer. Step two, we create launch configuration. What is launch configuration? Obviously, we'll see it when we start practicals. Step three, we create a topic. Step four, we create an auto scaling group. In the auto scaling group, we define the minimum level and maximum level of instances. Step five, we create an alarm in CloudWatch. Why should we create alarm in CloudWatch? You'll see it soon. And step six, we need to add policy in the auto scaling group. So this is a 6-step process you need to follow to experience the concept of auto scaling, to work out with the concept of auto scaling for the client's applications. Okay, so let's do step by step. Step one, creating a load balancer. I hope in the last session you remember we have first created EC2 machines. Step one, we have created EC2 machine one. Step two, you have created second EC2 machine. On step three, you have created a load balancer, and then we have attached the EC2 machines to the load balancer. Okay. So here, what we do first, we directly go ahead and create load balancer. Step one itself, without targets, without EC2 machines, first I'm going ahead with creating load balancer. Load balancer creation is nothing special. We already have learned in the last session. So let's move on and let's complete step one, that is concept of creating load balancer. I want to create a load balancer with the name sample LB with today's date. This is the name of the load balancer which I want to create. The security group, I want to name it as sample SG with today's date 16, and I want to open 2 ports, SSH port and HTTP port, and configure health check. I hope you know it. Response timeout 2, interval every 5 seconds. My load balancer should monitor the health, unhealthy threshold 2, healthy threshold 2. So let's go ahead and create load balancer first. Let's log into AWS. services EC2 instances. Do not worry about the existing instances. So what we want to do now is to start with creating a load balancer. Right now you do not have any load balancers. Let's go ahead and create a new load balancer. We go with you know it, we go with classic load balancer. Sorry, name of the load balancer. Create a new security group. The name of the security group is sample SJ16. What all ports I'm opening? I'm opening SSH port and HTTP port. Make sure both are anywhere. It's not a problem. So I have created a security group. I'm opening 2 ports in the security group. Remember, the name of the security group is sample SJ16. Fine. Next. Next. Response timeout 2 seconds, interval every 5 seconds, healthy threshold 2, unhealthy and healthy threshold both are 2. Next, add instances. We don't have any instances. Directly we are jumping into creating load balancer. Next, review the details and go ahead and create load balancer. I'm done with creating a load balancer. Successfully created a load balancer. Done. You can see this is a load balancer DNS name. Done with creating a load balancer. Okay. Next. This part is done. We are done with creating a load balancer. What is the next step? Create launch configuration. We have to create launch configuration. Okay. What do you mean by launch configuration? What do you mean by launch configuration? Okay. Can you hear me, Jayachandra? Can we have a talk?
Yeah.
Okay. When the traffic increases, as per the concept of auto scaling, what should happen is a new EC2 machine should be created automatically. Am I right?
Right.
So EC2 machine creation should not be done by ourselves at the time of increase, and when the traffic increases, the EC2 machine should be created automatically. That's the concept.
Right.
When you say that the EC2 machine should be created automatically, what should be the RAM of that new EC2 machine that gets created automatically? How many CPUs that EC2 machine should have? How much hard disk that EC2 machine should have? What should be the operating system of that particular new EC2 machine? Is it a plain operating system, or you want to run some commands in that particular operating system? Do we need to open any ports in that particular EC2 machine or not? So this kind of information, somewhere you have to define it, isn't it?
Right.
Agree or not? So when you say that it should be created automatically, then we need to provide what should be the RAM of that new EC2 machine that gets created automatically. What is the hard disk? What is the CPU? Or do we need to open any ports? What operating system that EC2 machine should have? What are there any commands that should get executed when the EC2 machine gets created automatically? All these things we define it in a launch configuration. Okay, so launch configuration is all about defining the configuration of the EC2 machine. This information we mention it in launch configuration. Clear, Chandra?
Yeah. Clear.
Am I clear about the launch configuration? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So somewhere you have to mention all these details. According to the details which you have defined in the launch configuration, it will use those details and the EC2 machine gets created. So where is this concept of creating launch configuration? In the EC2 dashboard itself, scroll down. You know, you'll experience the concept of load balancer here, but here under auto scaling, we have an option called launch configurations. Right now, there are no launch configurations found in this particular region. So what we are doing is we are creating a altogether new launch configuration. The name of the launch configuration is sample LCG16. The name of the launch configuration can be anything. It can be our name, your name. Pointedly, I'm naming it as LCG just to understand that's the launch configuration. This is the name of the launch configuration. And this is the AMI image. AMI image is nothing but the operating system. So I'm showing you what should be the AMI image. Before on hand. Launch instances. I can also search with my image. This is Amazon Linux, which I'm creating. Okay. So this particular Amazon machine image operating system I'm creating. So I'm mentioning in the launch configuration. And then I'm clearly mentioning that my instance should be T2 micro instance. The new machine that gets created when the traffic increases should be a T2 micro instance. That means it comes with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. And in that operating system, that is in this Amazon Linux operating system, I want these commands to be executed because it should be a web server. And then I select an existing security group. I mentioned the security group also. According to security group details you mentioned here, the port will be open. So this is the name of the security group, sample SG16. This is a key pair I want to define it. I'm also defining the key pair. So that using this key pair, when the EC2 machine gets created automatically, you can connect to the EC2 machines using this particular key pair. Fine. So let's proceed and define launch configuration or define launch configurations. Under auto scaling, go for launch configurations. Right now, there are no launch configuration. I'm creating a launch configuration. What's the name of the launch configuration you are creating? This is the name of the launch configuration. So what should be the AMI? Is nothing but an operating system. So this is an AMI. When you're practicing, I recommend you to use this AMI only. Do not use any other AMIs. Please proceed with this AMI and then you can experiment with other AMIs. And what should be the type of that particular instance that will be created automatically? That should be of T2 micro. The new instance should be of T2 micro instance. Under advanced details, under user data, these are the scripts that should get executed when the EC2 machine gets launched. Okay. Select an existing security group. The name of the security group is sample SG16. Create a new key pair. Sample KP16. Download the key pair. Desktop, AWS 11 batch and downloading the key pair, that's fine. Create launch configuration. Successfully created launch configuration. The name of the launch configuration is sample LCG16, which uses this particular operating system, which is of this particular configuration. Okay, and everything is perfectly defined. Okay. So you are clearly mentioned what should be the configuration of that new instance that should be created in the definition called as launch configuration. Clear? Okay. So what is the next step? Jay Chandra, clear the importance of launch configuration, and it is very clear why should we create launch configuration. Am I right, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. The next step, Jay Chandra, is to step 3 that we need to create a topic in SNS. Okay. Now, first point, why should we create a topic? And this is altogether related to new service called as simple notification service. Okay. Now, when the traffic increases, Jayachandra, technically what happens is the new EC2 machine will be created. Am I right?
Right.
Fine. Without any human intervention. We don't, as an AWS engineer, we don't need to be connected to AWS account, and we don't need to handle this. Everything will be automatic. The new EC2 machine will be created, and then that will be added to the load balancer, and it starts receiving the traffic. Am I right, Jayachandra?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But as an AWS team, as an infrastructure management team, we should know, we should get information saying that at midnight, 12 o'clock or so and so time, this EC2 machine got created. We should know what is happening in the background. Even though it is automatic, as an AWS team, we should get the information. Am I right?
Right.
How many machines are getting created? How many machines are getting removed? Everything is handling automatically. But we, as an AWS team, you should know what is happening automatically. Okay. When can we know, as an AWS team, as a client, as an AWS team member, when you're handling the client's infrastructure, how does we know that the infrastructure is getting created or infrastructure is getting deleted automatically? Only when you create a topic.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do, I will create a topic. What we'll do, we'll create a topic, and then topic name can be anything. What I'll do, Jayachandra, I'll add email addresses to the topic.
Okay.
I can add one email addresses. I can add, if your AWS team is of size 10, we'll be adding 10 email addresses to that particular topic. Okay. And then when the EC2 machine gets created, the alert will be sent to this particular topic. That means that alert will receive all, as an AWS team. We all, as an AWS team members, we get the information saying that at so and so point of time, the EC2 machine gets created. This topic is all about notification. You can see here, simple. We are all together using a new service called as notification service. Notification service helps us to give notification to the AWS team. Okay, infrastructure management team, saying that this has been created. Clear?
Okay. Clear.
Meaningful, isn't it, Jayachandra? So step 3 is, step 1 is creating load balancer. Obviously, we have to have load balancer. Step 2 is creating launch configuration. Clear. Now, step 3, I hope you understood the importance of a simple notification service, wherein which AWS team using this topic will receive the infrastructure. We will receive the notifications.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that is possible using a completely new service. That is called as simple notification service. So here, Jaya, please observe. Right from day one, we are experiencing, we have worked with only one service. Right from day one, we are all connecting with only one service called as EC2. This is the first time we are going to a different service called as SNS, simple notification service. Can you see under application integration, we have an option called simple notification service. Okay, so right now, go to topics. Right now, there is already a topic available. So please deleting the topic. Please ignore this. Please ignore this. Step 1, Jayachandra, we have to create a topic. The name of the topic can be anything. I'm writing it as my topic 1. Okay. And first, let's create the topic. Creating topic is as simple as that. Go for standard. Name of the topic can be anything. Description, I'm maintaining the same. Display name, I'm maintaining the same. That's it. Creating a topic is done. Okay. Now what I need to do, I will add email addresses to this topic. Okay. So n number of email addresses we have. Something like, for example, Jayachandra, I want to send some information to you. What I have done, Jayachandra, I have created a WhatsApp group and I added your mobile numbers to the WhatsApp group, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that I can send the message to the group in the same way. Here, what we are doing, we are creating a topic and I'm adding email addresses to the topic. Adding email addresses to the topic is called as subscriptions. It's called as subscriptions. Right now, you can see there is one topic created just now. What is the name of the topic? My topic 1. I'm clicking on the topic, scroll down. Right now, there are 0 subscriptions, no subscriptions. I can create subscriptions under this particular topic. Okay. Let's say Jayachandra, you are managing the AWS infrastructure team, and I am also managing the AWS infrastructure team. So when the EC2 machine gets created, we both of us should get the notification. So as we both of us should receive notification, I will be adding 2 email addresses, your email address and my email addresses under this particular topic. So adding email addresses is called a subscription. Right now I have no subscriptions. I'm creating a subscription. And the protocol, how do you want information? You can also get the receive information on email. We can also get SMS to our mobile phones also. So as of now, I'm showing you email protocol, and then the endpoint will be the email address. Okay. Created a subscription to this particular topic has been created. So as you can see now, one topic got created. Inside the topic, how many subscriptions? One subscription. You can create another subscription. I can add second email. One topic can have a number of subscriptions. There is no limitation. Okay. Now I should receive notifications. So first I log into my email address, and then I should say I confirm that I'm agree to receive notifications from Amazon. So let me log into my Gmail.
Okay, here I want to share something. So when I see this service of notification service, what I heard is usually I create web applications, right? So I thought this is something related to sending SMS to the user. That is service we have thought.
Okay. What email address I have mentioned here in the subscription? Sunil DevOps 77, right? Yeah. So here, AWS notification. Jayachandra, I agree to receive notifications from Amazon. Okay, I choose confirmation. Subscription has been confirmed. Now here, go to the cloud. Right now it was pending confirmation. Click on refresh. The status has changed to confirm. Okay. Yes. That's it. Step 3 is done. Step 3 is all about creating the topic and adding email addresses to the topic. Okay. So, and then confirming that particular subscription. Step 3 is done. Okay. Yeah. Clear. Step 1, we have created load balancer, and we have defined the configuration of the EC2 machine that gets launched. And when it gets launched as an AWS to this email address, I'll receive the notification. Step 4 is important. Auto scaling grouping. Auto scaling group is all about defining the minimum number of instances and the maximum number of instances. Okay. So that why do we define a maximum limit? Because Jayachandra, if you do, as per rule, we have to define a maximum limit, because sometimes what happens is we will get unexpected bill if you do not define a maximum limit. It's always good practice to define a maximum limit. Okay. Sometimes because of this cyber hacking, wantedly the hackers will make the application busy. Okay, to make it down. Okay, by their competitors, or whatever could be the reason. Okay, it's always better to define a minimum limit as well as maximum limit. It's not better, it is mandatory to define minimum and maximum limit. Okay. Thank you, Jaya.
Thank you.
So I am defining the next step is auto scaling group. In the name of the auto scaling group, sample ASJ 16 is the name of the auto scaling group. In which subnet I want to create the EC2 machines. In which subnet I want to create the EC2 machines. This is, we are right from day one. I hope you remember. Right from day one, we are working with Mumbai region only. Right from day one, we are creating infrastructure in the Mumbai region. Just for information, the Mumbai region is divided into partitions. This is region. The name of the region, assume Mumbai. Every region is divided into partitions. Every region is divided into partitions. Okay. If you go for a campus, let's say if you go to a campus, you will in an organization, Okay, you will find one building allocated for one organization, second building allocated for our organization, third building for one more organization. In the same way, Mumbai region is divided into partitions. These partitions are called as subnets. I hope you now understood the term called subnet. Subnet is partitions inside the region. Okay. Distance between one subnet to other subnet can be 100 meters or walkable distance of 200 meters. Distance between one subnet to other subnet can be 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers. Okay, got it? Understand? For example, if you look at Hyderabad region, one subnet can be in a high-tech city, one more subnet can be in Gachibowli. Okay, distance between one subnet to other subnet can be 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers apart from each other. Okay, but they are defined inside the same region. It can be in the same campus, it can be a different campus, maybe distance between each subnet can be 20 to 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers also. So subnet is nothing special, nothing complex, it's nothing but a partition inside the subnet. So we are creating an auto scaling. So when EC2 machine gets created automatically, in which subnet, obviously in Mumbai, in which subnet you want the EC2 machine to be created. So you have to select. Mumbai is having 3 subnets, AP South 1A, 1B and 1C. So I'm selecting the first subnet. And then exist attaching load balance. Obviously when the EC2 machine gets created, you should also provide the information of the load balancer so that it gets attached to the load balancer. So we choose from the existing load balancer. And we configure the group size, we take the defaults. Okay, and then we create the infrastructure. Okay, so let's proceed. Notification part is done. Go back to EC2 service. Now what we are doing is creating an auto scaling group. Below launch configuration, we have auto scaling groups. Right now, there are no auto scaling groups. Go ahead and create a new auto scaling group. What is the name of the auto scaling? The group name of the auto scaling group is Ample ASG 16. Is the name of the auto scaling group. Okay. Sorry. I'm wrong. 1 minute. Select the launch configuration which you have created already. This is the launch configuration. From this particular launch, select this launch configuration. And then here you have an actions. From here actions, create auto scaling groups. So from the launch configuration, you can go ahead and creating an auto scaling group. What is the name of the auto scaling group? Sample ASG 13 launch configuration automatically connected. Next. In which subnet? In Mumbai, the 3 partitions, I'm selecting the first subnet. So step 2 is all about subnet selection. Next. Attached to existing load balancer. I hope we already have created load balancer. You know it. Attached to an existing load balancer. And our load balancer is a classic load balancer. And here you will automatically see the name of the load balancer. We are selecting an automatic load balancer. Next. Step 4, configure group. Configure the size. As I said, we have to mention the minimum limit and maximum limit. Desired capacity is nothing but to start with how much should be the minimum number of instances. I want to start with 4 instances. Minimum should also be 4 instances. Maximum capacity, I want to define it as 10 instances. Okay, fine. The minimum number of instances 4, maximum number of instances 10. I have defined the rights. Next. Add notification. Jaya, we have an option of add notification. Jaya, remember we have created a topic here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wherever you come across the term called add notification, remember we need to attach a topic. I click on add notification. The topic which you have created in a separate service called as SNS, that will be available here. My topic one.
one. Okay.
That means this topic is having some number of subscriptions, right? To all the
Right.
subscribers. So we will receive the notifications to an email.
Okay.
So that's all stepwise about notifications. And provide the tag. Tag is nothing but naming the TC2 machine. So I'm providing a name tag as it has. Writing this map server. Next. Review the details. I am done with creating the auto scaling group. Okay.
Okay.
Create auto scaling group. Let's wait. Auto scaling group has been created successfully. Minimum number of instances we have mentioned it as 4. So by this time, if you go to instances tab, to my knowledge, the 4 instances should be created.
Okay. Cool. Now I'm clear.
Let's wait. It should respond here automatically. Let's wait. It's updating capacity. That means it is in the process of creating the instances. By this time, it should reflect immediately. Okay. The EC2 machine, 1 minute. Probably I'll be using a different EC2 machine. AMI, the problem is with respect to the AMI. It failed, Jayachandra. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Give
see
me-
the status it is failed.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Oh.
The problem is that the architecture of that particular AMI is not supporting this kind of auto scaling. Probably we need to discuss it. We need to pick up a different AMI. I think we have used an AMI, a different AMI, remember? Weba. Okay. We'll be using this AMI. Jaya, what I'm doing as this auto scaling group failed, I am deleting this auto scaling group.
Okay.
Right now, there are no auto scaling groups.
Yeah.
I go to launch configuration. I quickly repeat this, Jay.
Yeah. Go to the click select the instance.
Yeah. And then
Define
here we have an option of I'm
actions.
selecting the launch configuration and creating an auto scaling group based on the launch configuration. I repeat again. Next. In which
Next.
subnet? In the 1A subnet. Next.
Attach the load
Attached to
balancer.
an existing load balancer. Next.
A topic.
Minimum number. Oh, where did I selected the AMI? Okay. So it is a wrong AMI. I altogether use a different AMI. So AMI is part of not auto scaling group. It's part of launch configuration. Okay. So what I'll do, I go back to its previous step. I am deleting this launch configuration.
Okay.
So quick information. So Jaya, so we are topic is already created. So I create launch configuration and then continue with auto scaling group.
Okay.
Thank you. So sample launch configuration. Here, choosing an AMI, I will be using a different AMI. This is the AMI I'll be selecting. Instance type. T2 micro. Under advanced details, under user data. Select this. I select an existing security group. Sample SG16. Okay. And then key pair, I completely provide a new name. Create launch configuration. Successfully created launch configuration, done. And now I go ahead and create an auto scaling group based on the launch configuration. Select the launch configuration actions. Now this is the right AMI. Create auto scaling group based on the launch configuration. Name of the auto scaling group, sample ASG16. Based on the launch configuration, yes. Which subnet I want to create it in the first subnet. Next, attach it to an existing load balancer from the classic load balancer. Next, desired 4, minimum 4, maximum 10. Next, add notification. We already have created a topic. That's it. Next, tag. I'm providing a name tag. I'm writing it as web server. Next. Review the details and create autoscaling group. Autoscaling group, sample age is 16, successfully created. It's updating the capacity, right? By this time, go to instances. As you can see, Jaya, 1, 2, 3, 4 instances
Yeah, yeah.
are getting created. Got it?
Yeah, I can see.
Altogether, I have 7. These are the old instances, 1, 2, 3, and these are the new instances which are created. Did we create these instances manually? No. As we have mentioned, the desired capacity, we have created something like a template, Jay, and then using that, the instances gets created.
Yeah. So can we rename these instances web server of 4?
This web server, from where it is picking up the name, because we have provided a tag at the time. I hope you remember at the time of creating autoscaling group, I have provided a tag. It picks up the tag. You can rename it, and that's not a problem once the machine is getting running. So all the 4 machines are running. Thank you. All the 4 machines are running. Okay, next. So where, so remember, so what made the difference is AMI. You have to use this particular AMI. Few AMIs does not support autoscaling, so please use this AMI when you're practicing. Okay. The 4 machines got created, and then the 4 machines will be attached to the load balancer also. If you go to load balancer, we have created load balancer. All the instances are connected to the load balancer. It will take some time for the web server, the scripts to get executed, and then will be in service. Okay, next. Jaya, in continuation, I want to have a quick continuation discussion with you. Now tell me when the 5th machine gets created. Right now, load balancer got created, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4 machines are done. The point is, when the 5th machine will be created, the answer will be obviously when the traffic increases, isn't it?
Right.
But how do we measure it? We should be having some metric to measure.
Right.
Agree?
Yeah.
So
Agree.
it's very, very important. Okay. Now let's try to understand the next step. We are done with creating auto scaling group. We have mentioned minimum capacity, maximum fast. Next, what we need to do is to define an alarm.
Okay.
Create an alarm. Okay.
Okay.
This creation of alarm is possible in different service called as a cloud
watch. Okay.
Okay. Now, to make the concept simple, I'm taking this example, Jaya.
Okay.
Generally, I place alarm at morning 6 o'clock so that I can wake up. Okay, my alarm will be at morning 6 o'clock. So this is a condition. Alarm is something like a condition. My condition is when time is at 6 o'clock, the alarm will trigger. Okay, and I wake up is an action. What I do is I wake up. It's an action. So alarm is different. Action is different. Alarm is all about condition. Action is about what action you want to do when the alarm meets or the condition meets. Okay. So we have to define alarm here in this example. Okay.
Okay.
Let's understand this practically. I will create 2 alarms, Jayachandra. One is I name it as alarm 1.
Okay.
And alarm 2. Okay. Your question could be, why are we creating 2 alarms? One alarm for increasing the number of missions, for adding the number of missions. One alarm for removing the number of missions. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll be creating 2 alarms. If you want to create alarm, we cannot create it in EC2 service. We'll be experiencing a different service called as CloudWatch.
Okay.
So under services, under management and governance, we have a service called as CloudWatch. Under services, go to management and governance. Under management and governance, we have a service called as
CloudWatch.
In CloudWatch, what we do is we define alarms. go to alarms. Right now, number of alarms are 0. There are no alarms. Now I'll be creating 2 alarms. Okay.
Mhm.
And what should be the condition? The point is, when the traffic increases, load
Yeah.
balancer will distribute to the existing infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay. But that
Okay.
means when the traffic is increasing, the existing EC2 machines will become busy and busy. Okay.
Right.
How do you define that busy? By using the metric called as CPU utilization.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right.
every machine you can check. Even even my laptop is also, we can also in the task manager, we can see the service called a CPU utilization. So you can see here my CPU utilization. CPU utilization is whether your machine is busy or not. You can easily monitor it using a service called as, using a metric called as CPU utilization. So I define alarms based on the metric called as CPU utilization. So now Jayachandra, I am creating an alarm. Select the metric. My metric is based on what service? EC2 service, and per instance metric, not per instance, based on auto scaling, not per instance. Select metric based on EC2, based on auto scaling group. Here you will find the auto scaling group which we have created. The name of the auto scaling group is sample. What is the name of the auto scaling group which you have created? Sample ASG16, and the metric is CPU utilization. My auto scaling group CPU utilization, I'm selecting the metric. If it is greater than or equal to, here it's a percentage, Jaya, it's an 80%.
Okay.
When the auto scaling group, that means
When the CPU utilization.
not of one individual machine, CPU utilization of group of EC2 machines. Okay, because
Okay.
CPU utilization is based on auto scaling group. So existing auto scaling group CPU utilization,
Okay.
average CPU utilization is more than 80%. Okay,
Create a
and
new.
then click on next. I also want to receive a notification. Wherever there is an option to send a notification, I'll be using a topic. So I will know at this point of time my CPU utilization of the group has been increased to 80%. I receive a notification. That's fine.
Okay.
And then click on next. Provide the name of the alarm. I am providing the name as alarm 1. This is description is also a description, also maintain the same one. Next. Create alarm. I'm done with creating the first alarm.
Okay.
Successfully created. You can see the alarm 1. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, I create one more alarm for CPU utilization, which is less than 30%. When the CPU utilization of average CPU utilization of existing infrastructure is less than 30%, then I want to remove the instances. So for that, I will be creating one more alarm. Select a metric based on EC2 service, based on auto scaling concept. Select your auto scaling group. Our auto scaling group, you will see here, auto scaling group based on CPU utilization. I've selected metric, select metric. If the CPU utilization is less than, this is the percentage, that is 30, less than or equal to 30, next. That's it. I want to receive notification. Next. Alarms. So second alarm is for removing the machines. Create alarm. Done with creating a second alarm. Right? Fine.
Yeah.
Next. Add policy Policy is all about action you want to do when the condition is met. You have
Yeah.
alarm is all about just defining the condition, but you have not
Condition.
defined the action what you want to do it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do what is the action you want to do it. We do it in the add policy in the auto scaling. So select the auto scaling group which you have just created.
Okay.
Go back to your EC2 service. You can see the auto scaling group which you have created. This is the name of the auto scaling group which you have created. And then in this auto scaling group, there is something called automatic scaling tab. In this automatic scaling tab,
Okay.
right now, there are no actions. There are no.
Action.
So what I'll do, I'll add policy. Okay, so dynamic policies, predictive scaling policies. I'm going with create predictive policy.
Okay.
Policy name. Okay, somewhat these values are updated. 1 minute, please. Policy name, I write it as policy 1. Okay, so metrics are defined here. Not this one, not predictive. Scheduled actions. This has been updated recently. Yes. Go to auto scaling group. Go to automatic scaling and go to create dynamic policy. Create dynamic policy. Policy type should be simple scaling. Policy type should be simple scaling. Policy name can be anything. I'm writing it as policy 1. This policy, when do you want this policy to be executed? When the alarm 1 is condition is met, when the CPU utilization is more than 80%. Jaya, here I'm linking the alarm to my policy. When the CPU utilization of existing auto scaling group is greater than 80%. Now here you will have an option to take an action. I want to add 1 mission. Okay. At a time you can add 5 missions also. It's up to you. Okay.
Okay.
And then I want to add 1 mission and I create the policy. So policy is all about action, what you want to do. Okay.
Right.
So I have added 1 policy. The name of the policy is policy 1. Similarly, I will create 1 more policy to remove the number of missions. So create dynamic policy. Policy type is simple scaling. Policy name, I'm writing it as policy 2 for this one for the second alarm.
Okay.
Because when the CPU utilization is less than 30%, then what I want to do is I want to remove 1 unit. That is nothing but 1 EC2 mission. Clear?
So, clear. I have a question here, Sunil. So,
Yeah.
whenever the CPU percentage is increasing above 8%, every time
Above
it is-
80%,
it
then
is
it will create 1 EC2 mission.
Okay.
New EC2 mission.
Okay.
gets
If one EC2 mission is created, right?
Yes.
So that if that increases CPU percentage of above 80%, then another EC2
6th mission gets created. Yes. It's all about average.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's not a 1 mission. We have seen in the metric, we have selected an option called average. Isn't it, Jayachandra? So I hope I'm very clear in defining the step-by-step process of creating a auto scaling for how exactly we can define auto scaling. You need to have a load balancer. Step one, create a load balancer. You need to create a launch configuration, isn't it? And then we will be to receive the notification. We receive it, create a topic. We create an auto scaling group, and then we define alarms. Alarm is all about conditions. Policy is all about defining the action what you want to do. Clear, Jayachandra? Clear?
Clear.
Now When the fifth mission gets created, tell me. When the CPU utilization of all the existing 4 EC2
4
machines
is
are more than
80%.
80%, then the fifth mission gets created. But practically, we cannot see the process of creating fifth mission because we cannot increase the traffic of this particular web service, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
So practically that happens when we define it at the real time. But these are the step-by-step policies. You have to answer it in the interview. In case if you in the interview, definitely they ask you, Jayachandra, every application which is on cloud, they use auto scaling because the objective of the client is to have no downtime. Okay.
Yeah.
When they do not want any downtime, they have to use these kind of features like load balancing and auto scaling. Both goes together to make sure that the application load is handled.
Okay.
Thank you, Jayachandra. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so this is the clear step-by-step process of defining how exactly we need to create a auto scaling, which is very, very important. Yes, it's time for your questions. Karan. Karan Behra.
Hi, sir.
How are you doing, Karan?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Clear about the step-by-step process which you need to follow for defining for experiencing the auto scaling in AWS Cloud.
Yes, I am clear on this. So coming to my question is that we created a load balancer also, and the load balancer should balance the load amongst the instance created, right?
Yes, you're right.
So when the traffic increases and through the auto scaling group, we are actually automatically increasing the instances. But how does the
Instances gets attached to the load balancer.
Yeah.
Your question is, let's say when the
Yeah,
fifth machine gets created, how the fifth machine will be attached to the load balancer. We have provided the load balancer name information in the auto scaling group. Okay.
Okay.
Karan,
Yeah.
go to the auto scaling group.
Mhm.
This is the auto scaling group, which is linked to the launch configuration.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And launch configuration, we are linked to the load balancer. Okay. So automatically, according to that, it gets attached. So the information is already done. Okay.
Can you show me where we have where it is showing the load balancer name?
Look at this.
Launch configuration.
First step, what we have done, we have created a load balancer. We have started with creating load balancer. Okay. Sample LB16. That load balancer information, we have attached it in the. We have selected existing load balancer in the. See, in the auto scaling group, we have chosen from existing load balancer and we have selected the classic load balancer and we have attached the existing load balancer in step 3. So that means when the auto scaling group, when the action happens, that gets automatically attached to load balancer because you have mentioned that load balancer information name in the step 3. Okay.
Okay.
Clear, Karan?
Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you. Yogesh Kumar, how are you?
Yeah, hi Sunil. I am fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. How is your learning with AWS?
Yeah, it's very good. And my question is regarding these policies.
Okay.
So, what kind of policies we can define over here? Means what are the types
Policy is all about action. What action you want to do generally traffic increases? Yogesh.
Yes, like
generally we will be adding the number of missions or removing the number of missions, isn't it?
Right.
When the traffic increases, the new EC2 mission should be created.
Yes.
Policy is all about action, what you want to do. We have defined. Can you see the policies which we have created in the auto scaling group? Yogesh, this is the policy 1 we have created. This is the policy 2. Execute policy when this condition met. This is the condition. The action what you want to do is add number of missions. So policy is all about action. Yogesh. Okay.
So there was some dynamic scaling policies and other is there now.
Yeah,
so
what we have selected is a dynamic scaling policies.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scaling policies available. You can explore that. This is the primarily used policy, dynamic scaling policy.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Gopal Boya. How are you?
Yeah, hi. I'm fine. How about you, Sunil?
Doing well, thank you. Your question.
Yeah. So here, my question is here. So whenever traffic increases, it will auto scale with the new instances.
Yes.
So your load balancer, whenever it is like increasing the traffic, so how the load balancer will going to handle this much of traffic?
Load balancer is not handling the traffic. Okay. Load balancer is just distributing the traffic to the existing EC2 machines, isn't it, Gopal? Okay. When the
Yeah.
existing
So
EC2
here,
machines keeps on receiving the new traffic,
yeah,
assuming to start with how many number of instances we have mentioned? 4 instances.
for
Okay.
instance,
So
yeah,
from this 4 instances point of view, when the traffic is increasing,
yeah.
obviously the traffic will be distributed to the existing 4 instances. Load balancer will just distribute the traffic. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Gopal.
So yes,
So
yes,
what
yes.
will happen? The CPU becomes busy
Yeah.
because it is processing the request. Agree? So the CPU becomes busy and busy. That means when it is reaching 80% of the average CPU utilization,
Yeah.
immediately the next fifth machine gets created, and it also will be attached to load balancer. So load balancer will distribute the traffic to the new machine now. Okay, it is distributing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
fifth machine will start receiving the load.
yeah,
Got it?
backend servers will going to receive this traffic, whatever it's getting from the
Load
source. Yeah, source. So
source
like
is nothing
how
but
the
load balancer.
yeah.
Here the web EC2 machines will get the source from the traffic from the
Okay.
load balancer. So when the fifth machine gets added, obviously the average CPU utilization gets reduced, isn't it, Gopal? Okay.
So in this scenario, only we can use this predefined AWS load balancer, or we can use
No,
any
no,
kind
no.
of like F5 or
You
separate
have
net.
to use the no on-premises load balancers cannot be used, which are out of AWS network. You have to go for completely AWS provided solutions. Okay.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay,
Thank
Gopal.
you.
And it's very important that once you practice this, deleting the infrastructure is very, very important. Please follow the process. First, delete auto scaling group. Deletion process is also very important. Let's delete the auto scaling group. Let's wait for the auto scaling group to be deleted.
Sunil, so one more thing. So I just want to know like whether you can share this text file to practice on daily basis.
The recordings and notes you will get it for 999 rupees. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So we are deleting the auto scaling group. Let's wait. See, by this time at the back end, what's happening? The web servers are getting deleted slowly, one by one. They're getting shutting down. So let's wait for the auto scaling group to be deleted completely. Deletion process is also important. After deleting auto scaling group, you need to delete launch configuration. Let's move on. Hey, Anuj Singh, how are you doing?
I'm good, Sunil. The only question I'm having, how come we know which AMI supports auto scaling?
In the manual, you can see the list of AMIs which are supporting auto scaling feature. Okay.
Will it be showing in the dashboard?
Not in the
Somewhere?
dashboard, in the AWS manual.
Okay, I need to download.
docs.aws.com. Yeah.
I need to download it from somewhere.
Yes. You're
Okay,
right.
one another point. This particular AMIs are nothing but a kind of templates.
Pre-con
Pre-config.
operating system with minor changes.
Right.
As per
Pre-configured
AWS
templates.
requirements. Mhm.
Right. So is there anything which they do for it to get automatically deployed? So that means auto scaling means this template is enabled for automatic
Auto scaling.
launch.
Yes, you are right.
Auto scaling. That okay. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
you're right.
Thanks.
Good morning, Raghu Reddy. It's good afternoon now. I can see your hand raised, Raghu. How are you doing? Can you hear me, Raghu? If you're not having any questions, please do not raise your hand. Sandeep Suntake. Hi, Rishabh.
Yeah. Hi, Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rishabh. How are you doing?
I'm doing also
We
great.
have received your email, Rishabh. Okay. Because there are many people who are raising their hands, so not everyone will get the opportunity. Okay. So try to understand.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Your question.
So my question is that, my question is that I just want to know that that Linux script while you are
the bootstrap
creating
scripts.
the load balancer, bootstrap script. So and that AMI number, could you please share that AMI number and that script, because I am a Windows admin and
I'll be doing
I'm
that.
not
I'll be
hands-on
doing
with the
1 minute,
Linux.
please. 1 minute, please. I'll be sending that in the chat.
And I don't have much idea with the Linux. So is it necessary that if I'm going to learn
No,
AWS,
you don't.
so Linux?
No, not required. So I'm telling, just try to understand the concept, okay? And this is the AMI which you have to use
So
to demonstrate with this example. So I've sent it in the chat box.
I'm not
Rishabh.
hands-on with the Linux, so
did you receive it?
yeah.
Rishabh?
Yes, I got it.
Received
Yeah,
in
I
the
got
chat
it.
box.
I got it.
Yes, your question.
Yeah, I got it. I received. Thank you. One more. Yeah. So what I'm asking is, if I'm not hands-on with the Linux, so how would I deal with that script?
See, this is to showcase your web server. These bootstrap scripts are helping you to showcase the web server. But from next services, they are not at all dependent on Linux. You don't need to be aware of Linux if you want to learn AWS. Okay, Rishabh, am I clear?
Okay. So if I'm right. If I'm selecting the Windows machines like AMI as a Windows machine.
So if you know how to install web server, if you want to
that-
know how to install web server on Windows, you can do that on the Windows machine which you have selected, and then you can experience the same. Okay. Okay, Rishabh.
Thank you so much.
Auto scaling group is done. Let's delete the launch configuration. Next, delete load balancer. Delete topic in notification service. I think subscriptions will also be better to delete. Next, delete alarm in CloudWatch.
Hi, Sunil.
Hi, Raghu. How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you, Sunil?
Your volume is very, very low.
Now, Sunil?
Yes, we can hear you. Please tell me.
Yeah. Sunil, this is my first class.
Oh, okay. Are you in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, just today only I have joined in that group.
Okay. As you have the Zoom link, you can join every day. The meeting link will never change till the end of the batch. The live training is free. Okay, in case if you
Okay.
want the recordings, you need to pay just 999 rupees, so that you get all the recordings right from day one to all the rest. Okay.
Yeah, that is my question.
Okay, the payment link I'll share it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, you are in the WhatsApp group, right, Raghu?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have joined.
Okay. So you'll get that update. Thank you, Raghu.
Uh,
Please do not encourage communicating to the middlemen. So only right point of contacts are the group admins. Okay, whatever the message you received from the group admins, trust that message. There are many other middlemen I got to know who are communicating on behalf of us. Please do not encourage them. Okay, thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed this session of concept of auto scaling, and many more interesting concepts coming up. That's called as vertical scaling, horizontal scaling. Okay, what and region specific dashboard. Those are all coming up for the upcoming sessions. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.